Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Football Tea. It's your boy Football Matter, and I'm here with We Talk Football. Yeah, it's the night of Champions League, and I can't
Let's
wait to
go.
unveil the beautiful matches or the interesting matches ahead. It's a long-awaited or heated debate that is waiting for us to settle, most especially between the Chelseas and the Barcelona. This has been there over the years, over the seasons, and if you look at their head to head, there is nothing to separate them. There are two sides that it feels like there is this European rivalry between Chelsea and Barcelona. So they're always trying to get the better out of each other. And it does not even matter the form any of the team are in. So once they are meeting each other, they are going for the win. And if you look at the last six times they have met from the 2012 that Chelsea won them till now, they have met six times. And in that six times, Chelsea has been the better side. Chelsea has won two times, Barcelona once, and then we've seen three draws. So it's always a very close and tight game between these two guys. Last season with the Highline, Chelsea were licking their lips that they can, disgrace Barcelona with this their Highline. But then on the other hand, Barcelona fans are saying if they catch Chelsea's defense, which till this season have been inconsistent, they're saying they will disgrace them. So what do you think about this feature? Let's start with Chelsea versus Barcelona at Stamford Bridge.
Wow, there's a lot of anticipation, and like you said, everyone is waiting for it. Whether from like Chelsea side, Chelsea fan are making big promises, big talk. Can Chelsea walk the walk? This is the question. On the other hand, Barcelona and their equations, like if we beat Chelsea and Chelsea bet PSG, that means we actually better than PSG. All of this kind of nonsense. Anyway, I think I'm very much looking forward for the game. The two teams are very excited. They want, and also they very much need the 3 points. Both of them, I believe, they are out of the top eight in the league phase, and this is very important for them just to qualify directly to the next stage of the Champions League. Because other than that, you're going to have to play extra two games, which is not really the best, especially if you are competing domestically. You definitely need to make sure that you are qualifying directly to the next stage. When it comes to this game, there's a lot of factors, right? As you just said, like Barcelona can score a ton of goals. They have fantastic attack, and now with the return of Rafinha, it's going to also give them different age, whether it's scoring, helping them with the high press and all of these kind of things. They also get back their goalkeeper, so yeah, it's going to be very good. We saw them trying, Gerard Martin, that center back position, so maybe it could be something to look up to. There is, a lot of, they have the motivation. They won against Athletic Bilbao, a big win, their return to the Camp Nou, and all of these kind of positive things, right? On the other hand, you have Chelsea, who's really having, they had like a professional win against Burnley, which is very important, 3 points secured domestically. The game is going to being played at the Stamford Bridge. Are you home? And to be honest, Chelsea at the home European in the European competition, they usually have the edge. Yes, of course, a big hit that Kopama is not there for us neutral fans. We want to see everyone playing in that game. So I think it's going to be a very high tactical game. Enzo Marescas with his flexibility, but sometimes also he had this weird decision that no one understands. In the other hand, the maestro Hansi Flick, of course, has to bring all the guns out there, and also, there's a lot of things on the line, as I said. But this kind of games, this caliber of games, depends like to 80%, I would say, on the motivation, the desire, the hard work, and the discipline of the players. If you give a room for Barcelona attack, in like 1 minute they will score a goal. Chelsea, not necessarily the best team when you're talking about the defensive side of the game. However, they have really great midfield. Midfield definitely is one of their focal point. Also, they have very good fullbacks who definitely have to do extra in this game against Barcelona. Their attackers, yes, they can score goals, but they cannot, score as many goals as Barcelona attackers can do. For me personally, I do see the game, to be very entertaining. I know that, Enzo Maresca is not going to sit deep. In the other hand, also Hansi Flick is not going to sit deep. So we're going to have back and forth. And I believe it's going to be yet another draw for both of them. It's going to be like 2-2 or something. We're going to see goals, but I don't think anyone is going to go home with the 3 points. What about you? What about you? Do you think Kopama is going to be a hit? We know he was out for such long time, but everyone wanted him. Do you think Pedri is going to be available for this game? And if not, do you think is going to be a big hindrance for Barcelona?
Definitely, Barcelona will love to have Pedri. Pedri is going to be a big miss, just like Cole Palmer in the same wavelength. That is going to be a very big miss for Chelsea because Cole Palmer is that guy that brings the composure, is that guy that brings the vision to Chelsea. Adding Cole Palmer to Chelsea is just going to be an extra advantage for them, but missing him leaves that big gap because of his decision making in the final third. He knows when to pass and not just passing for the passing sake. He passes it with the right weight and he knows when to shoot. Currently, Chelsea have been coping without him and scoring goals and as second in the league table. But again, they are doing it without their best goal scorer in their team. And definitely, like Maresca said in the press conference, that Cole Palmer had fractured his small toe and he missed the match. So just like Pedri, he will be missed in that midfield. But again, you don't have to depend on just one player to define your season. And the two teams have carried on without these two guys in several occasions and have did well, just like against Atletico Bilbao, coming out 4-0, coming back to the Camp Nou. Yes, Barcelona is going to miss Pedri, but again, they will be happy that Joan Garcia is back. Rafinha is also back, who got some minutes against Atletico Bilbao. And then they saw the performance of Lewandowski, fully fit Lewandowski. And again, you saw Fermin Lopez doing what Fermin Lopez know how to do best. They were, both managers played this game and played their weekend games with a mind with that match. You can see Lewandowski and Fermin Lopez taking off so that we have enough energy and enough rest going ahead. And when you look at Chelsea versus Burnley, you could see that Moses Caicedo got his full rest, Estevao got a full rest, and a lot of other James was swapped out. So you could see that they were playing the match with in mind. Fofana was not even called. So it's going to be a must win for both sides. But even more so, a must not lose. Because these two guys have dropped points. Barcelona has lost to a PSG side and then has drawn to Club Brugge. Chelsea descends and lost to Bayern Munich and then drawn to Karabakh. So it's going to leave a very big question for the manager and then for the team for the rest of the season. Are we ready to compete on the highest level with the big boys, especially in the Champions League? So whether or not there is going to be a win, I'm also leaning towards a draw, just like you said, because I feel like the game will not be over until the final whistle. But it will be a game where at the end of the game, one team will be feeling like they are robbed or they could have done more, they could have stolen the
The
win.
typical
Yeah,
Chelsea Barcelona.
yeah, that's what I feel is also going to be a big match for the referee and not just for the Chelsea and the Barcelona players. So let's move on to the other side of Manchester in England, where Manchester City will be welcoming Leverkusen on the back of a defeat at St. James Park. For the first time, Pep Guardiola's Man City is losing against Newcastle. And then for the first time in 18 trials that Eddie Howe, sorry, is winning a match against Man City, whether with any club he's been with. So Man City will be looking to bounce back from that defeat, and then they will be looking to embrace or soak in the energy from the fans on that day. But again, Bayern Leverkusen has been a different team under their new manager after Erik Ten Hag was sacked, and they will be looking to continue from where they stopped after a very good away win against Wolfsburg this weekend. So they are going to go to Manchester City at least to see if they can get a result. But a lot of players will be looking to come back or bounce back, like the Ryan Cherki, the Haaland who did not score or his goal scoring streak stopped against against Newcastle United. What do you think about this game?
To be honest, I think Manchester City still have the edge. They still have the better qualities. And what separates between Leverkusen and Newcastle is the physicality. You can clearly see the difference. These Newcastle players, they're just like throwing themselves physically.
Yeah,
They were
bullies,
ready.
bullies.
Yeah, absolute bullies, like in all aspects. Like we saw how Tonali is bullying, how Joelinton is bullying, how Gumarães. It's like I don't think Luke such high. They're not like as strong physically as Newcastle. Plus, also they're not used to this kind of intensity. Newcastle play in the Premier League. They are very, 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 very good defensively. This is how they play. They hit you in the counter. When it comes to Bayer Leverkusen, I think if they will play an open game, it's going to be a massive, massive problem for them. And in the other hand, you have Manchester City, who knows for a fact that they need the 3 points. I don't think it's going to be a room for error, whether for Pep Guardiola. We saw how angry he was after the final whistle of this game against Newcastle. So he will definitely try to change a lot. I think he would take a lot of players out from this game, the players that did not necessarily deliver, because yes, they have majority of the ball position. However, if you look into the chances they create, actually Newcastle create more chances with way less possessions. Maybe they will adjust things, or they should adjust things. I need to see more of, I need to see Doko be playing the 90 minutes. To be honest, Doko being taken out for Savinho is not necessarily the best solution, because yeah, even if Doko is not necessarily giving you 100%, he's still going to create danger. And I'm quite sure the bounce back from players like Ryan Sharkey, from players like particularly like Erling Haaland, the best number 9 in the world, is not going to take long. These people are going to come back, and I think they're going to use Bayer Leverkusen, unfortunately, to do so. What about you?
Yeah, I think they should win, but it's not going to be an easy game for them. They should win, definitely. So let's quickly move to another big match on Wednesday night of Champions League as Arsenal welcome Bayern Munich
Whoa,
at
whoa.
Emirates Stadium. It's going to be a very big match. What do you think
Yeah,
about this game?
yeah. Again, between two teams that are doing incredibly well, both
Do you think they are the
domestically.
best? They are the best two team in Europe currently.
Absolutely. And I will definitely, I still, people will not put PSG still as the third. I would still put PSG there. But for me, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and PSG are the best three teams in the entire universe, really, like hands down. And what Vincent Company is doing with Bayern Munich is very, very good. I'm still on my words. I'm still doubling down that unless I see him lifting that Champions League trophy, I'm not going to hype him that much, because winning the Bundesliga is like me, myself, or, my grandmother can win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. That's no surprise. You know what I mean? In the other hand, you have Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, all the anticipation. Everyone is waiting for Arsenal to lift a massive or major trophy after 20 plus year drought domestically, and forever drought in terms of like European trophy and all of these kind of things. That immaculate defensive line of Arsenal. Arsenal played 4 games. They conceded nada. 0 goals in the Champions League. In the other hand, you have Bayern Munich, who have a scoring machine up top. People like you cannot necessarily know where danger will come from. Is it going to be Olise? Is it going to be Hurricane? But the good news that Luis Diaz is not going to be there. And to me personally, I think Luis Diaz is very, very important. He's actually very integral to the system that Company playing with Bayern Munich. So that might be something good. Maybe he's going to move Gnabry to play from the left. I don't know who's going to play there, but I think Gnabry should be okay, because actually Gnabry is also in a very good form. Lately, there is a lot of unity. We Arsenal defense is very good, but Bayern Munich defense is not that bad. They only conceded 3 goals and they score a hell lot of goals. It's going to be very interesting game. I do not think Arsenal is going to play an open game. And this is going to be a bit interesting to me, because I want to see the mentality shift in Mikel Arteta. Are you going to actually try to win the 3 points at your home just to spread your dominance? You understand? Or are you going to surrender to the press of Bayern Munich? Because Bayern Munich can press you like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, a lot of battles await of us. Like, players, both teams have very, very good players. Also missing some players in Gabriel, which is again an integral, the leader for that defensive line, not only in terms of like just the defense, but also he's a very, very important piece in the set piece for Arsenal. So we have to see. Also, Calafiori most likely is not going to be available for this game. Are you going to rely on Luis Kelly against Alice? This is also going to be a question mark. Hurricane. For me, Hurricane is a very fantastic player, no doubts, but I still want to see him in this kind of games. But in the other hand, in general, I don't think both team will be sad with a draw, because both of them, they won all their games so far in the Champions League. To great extent, they guarantee to be top 8 and moving directly to the next stage of the Champions League. But I'm very much looking forward to see the game, because you just want to put it to the test, right? Like everyone is talking how great Company is, how great Arteta is. So yeah, show me. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a very big tactical battle between these two sides. You mentioned about the Bayern Munich press, but I feel like the catalyst or the initiator of that press is more like Luis Diaz, and it's like the
100%.
energy and life wire. The energy this guy puts whenever putting on any jersey for any club, it transcends to the club, just like the Newcastle when Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton, and Sandro Tonali are pressing. The other team just have this energy. Yeah, I listened to Mane's interview with Leo Ferdinand. He was saying like Henderson is pressing. he just feel like he has to join him and press. So there are people that with that kind of spirit in a team. So he will be dearly missed. There they have a young boy called Leonard Carl who plays in maybe can play as a number 10 or can play in the right wing. He's a left-footed guy. He scored brilliant goal in the Champions League already. And he's still going to high school. He scores goals brilliant. And he doesn't score, simple goals, screamers,
Yeah,
both
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Bundesliga and then so I'll be looking whether he might be thrown in with for company. That would be a very bold decision. But also I'm
But
looking at
but sorry, I
probably
just want to before we move from this. But if company will start Leonard, then who is going like how the front line is going to be?
he's probably going like for instance against Freiburg in the weekend he started Leonard Cow against Freiburg and they ended 6-2. Cow started on the right wing, Olise as the number 10 Y Olise number 10 and While is there as the left wing. So I'm thinking if he doesn't start him then Jackson will definitely start. He scored as well. So and
Yeah.
we've seen that combination of Jackson and Kane, with
Hmm.
Jackson playing up front and White Kane playing as a number 10. And I think Jackson might get the go ahead because he's familiar with Arsenal team, he's familiar with the Premier League press, and he would definitely want to prove himself against the London bitter side. So if he starts Jackson up front, then Nabry, he has played in the left wing, he's comfortable there. He's definitely going to also play there as
Yeah.
well. So it will be a very huge game. And for us now, I'll be looking to see how their defense tend to contain an attack in form or one of the hottest attack currently in Europe. So it's going to be a test of Arsenal's defense, which, like you have said, has kept a lot of clean sheets, and then it will be a test of Bayern Munich's attack as well. Because when they met Chelsea, they were only two. Yes, they won 3-0, but Chelsea shot themselves in the leg. They consider those by individual mistake. But again, you can say that it's the team, how they press is part of the game. But again, sometimes against a more solid side defensively, you want your side to create rather than score through mistakes from the opponent. So it's going to be a very good test in different level and also to test Arsenal attack against Bundesliga machine that presses on the high front and high block. So there will be lots of opportunity. Either there is lots of opportunities or Mikel Arteta, just like you said, might just choose to be pragmatic and say, no, I'm not losing this match. If you
Yeah.
don't defend well, then I might win you, but I'm okay with a draw. Sometimes you watch Arsenal big matches, he gives that vibe, and if you feel like he doesn't want to take much from this game, he just wants to play safe. But again, just like you said, a draw is comfortable for both sides and will be a welcomed result. But a loss as well will put a question mark, especially to Arsenal. Arteta asking,
Yeah.
can he do it against the big side? How his team has been able to handle pressure over the years. A lot of receipts will be brought out against him. But company, no much pressure. They will feel like they are still, very much good. Just like they lost in Bundesliga after 15 consecutive wins and stuff like that. But it didn't make much highlights or much noise. So yeah, again, in the night of Champions League, we will be seeing Olympiacos versus Real Madrid. What do you think about this game?
It's a very important game for Real Madrid, especially the back of the defeat to Liverpool. You want to bounce back. You want to make sure that you are top eight. I think everyone is just fighting for this top eight. It's a big test, and for again, it's the set piece strategy of Real Madrid because Olympiacos, this is one of their best, how you say, tools. Like the best weapons for them is to use the set piece. Real Madrid is struggling. Again, it's set piece, so we have to see improvement when it comes to Real Madrid. Is going to be played away from home a very difficult period of time. I think for all top European sides, everyone is wanted to maintain or getting results from the Champions League as well as in the domestic league and the cup and etc. Xavi Alonso definitely need to fix many things, but Xavi Alonso also at the moment they are going the right direction. They create good chances. We need to see more of dynamism between in the front line. Is he going to use Valverde to play as a right midfielder slash right winger, or he going to use Rodrigo as a right winger or Brahim Diaz as a right winger? Are we going to see the 4-3-3? Are we going to see the 4-4? What kind of style are we going to see in such games? I also want to see more of desire and motivations from the players because if we're being honest, in the last two games for Real Madrid before the international break, Real Madrid did not necessarily show the desire that expected from players from this caliber to show. And now this is a good opportunity for them to show it. There is huge competitions in almost all the positions. And now we're talking about also Trent Alexander-Arnold. I want to see more from players like Trent Alexander-Arnold. I want to see more from players like Raul Asensio, because he's most likely the one who's going to start, since the Antonio Rudiger is injured, and I'm sorry, Ida Militao is injured, and Antonio Rudiger is not yet fit. So the partnership in this defensive centre back position is going to be most likely Dean Howson and Raul Asensio. Is it going to be problematic since two players are very young centre backs, or is it going to be good for the team in general, that midfield combination? What will happen without Tchouaméni? Had Tchouaméni not really been available for this game? All these kind of things. But if we're being honest, on paper, Real Madrid are favorites, but everything is, possible in this kind of games. 50-50, you're playing away from home. You're having a team that we saw, they almost caused havoc for Barcelona, although Barcelona won. Let's see, and definitely everyone should be in the A game. And if I'm any team playing against Real Madrid, of course I'm going to play as if my life depends on it. That's just the reality of things. What about you? What do you think?
It's going to be a big test for Real Madrid, most especially their young centre backs, containing the likes of all these conventional, traditional strikers like El Kabi. I think he's a Europa League winner, and then also they've got Taremi, who was an Inter Milan player last season, and he comes from bench. And just like you said, against Barcelona, we've seen this Olympiacos side. They're a very good side, well-coached side. They have the likes of Daniel Podence, who we've seen in the Premier League, very technical guy, and they have Gelson Martins, who played in AS Monaco, Atletico Madrid. They have a very good, young, experienced side, young and old. It's just a very good mix out there. But before that, yes, Barcelona won with a very big margin, 6-1, I could remember. But before that, the scoreline did not show this true story of it, because they were creating chances, they were causing problems for Barcelona before they got that unfortunate red card, which should not have been a red card. Yeah, a big test for Xabi Alonso, whose men are a little bit underperforming in their last two matches. First against Liverpool in the Champions League, that was not a very good outing and a forgettable one at Anfield, and then against Rayo Vallecano, who are giant killers or whatever. But again, they'll be looking to bounce back straight off to win that match to make sure they maintain their position in the top 8. They wouldn't want to add more matches to their already busy or long season with playing the playoff. So it'll be very, very interesting to see the tactics, the tweaks, and the players that will be brought in to make sure they oversee these results and maintain confidence and momentum. So yeah, that's just it for me. I feel like Real Madrid should be able to oversee them, because Olympiacos, despite them being well coached, they've only managed 2 points, and they're lying in, I think, 31 position or something like that. If you are trying to win the Champions League or trying to end in the top 8, this is the side you want to face. This is the side you want to win. You are short of confidence. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah.
And do you have any other thing you want to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
So yes, guys, we are back fully, and we will be doing the next Premier League matches for the weekend next week. So if you've watched us in this moment, we ask you to make sure you like and click that subscribe button, and tell us your thoughts in the comment section and your predictions. Till then, see you on the next one.
The football team.